Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. I am back for another session of Live at Five Matters of the Heart. And today we are going to be talking about maybe jumping into relationships. The past few weeks, we've been working through setting some goals for the new year. But we're going to shift a little bit in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about relationships. Let me turn down. I've got Tasha Cobbs on over here because y'all know I love Tasha Cobbs. So I'm going to turn her down for just a minute so y'all can hear me because I might get real excited with her playing in the background. But we are going to be talking about relationships, and specifically today, communication is the key, because what we know, whether we act on it or not, is that our communication is really what helps us to have healthy and productive relationships. We want to make sure we are doing everything that we can to communicate effectively and appropriately so that we can meet the needs of the folks that we love and care about, and so that we can get our needs met as well. I see my friend, my sister on Instagram. So hello, Patsy. So good to see you. Glad that you have hopped on this evening. So I've got Facebook going over here. I've got Instagram and LinkedIn on another screen. So thank you again for joining me. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in because y'all know how we do this. We don't stay on long. We're going to hit the hot topics, and then we are going to keep it moving for the day. I hope you've had a great day this afternoon. Hello to you, my sis. So, like I said, we're talking about healthy relationships the next couple of weeks, and how to build healthy relationships, how to facilitate healthy relationships. And so specifically, we're going to be talking today about communication is the key. And I'm talking about things that we can apply to all of our relationships, whether we're talking about husband, wife, whether we're talking about children, parents, whether we're talking about coworkers, whether we're talking about employer, employee, because we are in relationship with people all the time. Whether we are talking about the girl at the checkout line in Walmart, we are communicating all the time. So we want to make sure that we are doing that in a way that is effective, like I said, to not only get our needs met, but to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the people that we love and care about. And I'm probably going to slant a little bit more to family relationships and close friend relationships than I am to just more kind of fleeting interactions that we have, but we want to make sure that we're taking care of those as well. Because here's the reality, particularly in our intimate relationships, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, parent, child. The reality is conflict is inevitable. Things are going to come up. We are all very different creatures. We all have very different needs. We all have very different ways of engaging with each other. Hello to my sister, Deanna. I see you on Instagram. Thank you for hopping on. I hope you are doing well today. But as I said, conflict is going to arise. But here is the deal. Conflict can be managed, and it doesn't have to doom our relationships. But if it is not managed, it really can determine the success or failure of our relationships. So even in the most successful relationships that we know about, there are inherent personality differences and things that can cause conflict to arise. So we want to have the ability to communicate in a way so that we are responsible and responsive to the folks that we are in relationship with, and learn how to manage these difficult situations. So I want to throw out a scripture. I always like to give at least one scripture because y'all know that's where I hang my hat, because that is really what governs how we do everything that we do. That is what governs the way we live. So I want to give you Colossians 4 and verse 6. It says, let your words always be with grace, seasoned with salt, so that you will know how you should answer each person. And there are other scriptures that we can talk about. We know that a soft answer turns away wrath. That's another one that I can give you. So just a couple for you to hold on to as we move through this. So what I want to give you real quick are for what we call communication styles, or ways of communicating that we probably all at some point or another have used. But there's one in particular that we want to make sure we hold on to. So we've heard obviously of passive communication, aggressive communication. Then we've heard about passive aggressive communication styles, and then assertive. Assertive is where we want to land. But what I found in talking to people and working with people a lot of times is that sometimes they confuse assertive with aggressive. And they're really two completely different things. Assertive is simply just stating what it is you want and need in a way that is not demeaning, demanding, or hurting someone else. It's simply saying what you want, what's on your mind, what's going on. That's being assertive. But sometimes we can confuse those two. We can confuse being assertive and being aggressive. So, hey, Tammy, thank you for hopping on. Good to see you on Instagram. So again, aggressive communication, like I said, is the exact opposite of being assertive. Aggressive is just what it sounds like. It is when you are actually demanding something from someone in a way that is an aggressive tone, whether it's in your body language, in your volume, a way that, so you are using that aggression to get what you want from that individual. That is not what we want, particularly when we're talking about trying to build healthy relationships. Aggressive communication is likely not going to get you what you ultimately want. So I'm going to give four quick examples of these different styles. I'm going to walk you guys through this. So the example I'm going to give is just that. It is an example, okay? So let's say that I am communicating with my husband, whom I love dearly, by the way, okay? And I need him, let's say, to pick up a dress for me from the dry cleaner because I have an event and something has come up and I am running late and I'm not going to be able to get to the dry cleaner in time. And so I need him to pick this dress up for me. So we talk about these four communication styles that I just listed: passive, aggressive, and then assertive. I'm going to give you an example of how each one of these would sound. Okay. So a passive style would sound something like this. Hey, babe, listen, if there's any way you could pick up my dry cleaning for me today, but I mean, it really doesn't matter that much if you do. Y'all see the difference? So I'm saying what I want, but then I'm downplaying it at the same time. So when you're talking to someone, it can be difficult for them to figure out, okay, is this really something that needs to happen? Or are you just kind of throwing it out there? You're just giving me information for information's sake, or is there something you really want and need me to do? So it can be very confusing for the person that you're talking to. So then if he doesn't pick up this dress that I need, that's really important to me, then I'm walking around now with an attitude because he didn't do what I asked him to do. But my communication to him was very passive. I did not ask for exactly what I needed. Okay. So that's passive style. Next one is aggressive. Okay. So here we go. Again, y'all, this is an example. This is not how I talk to my husband, or we wouldn't still be married. Okay, here we go. So aggressive request again. I'm running late. I need him to pick up this dress for me because I have an event and I really need it. I'm not going to be able to get to the dry cleaner before they close. Aggressive style. Well, look, I mean, the least you could do is pick up my dress. And don't forget, because last time when I asked you, you act like you didn't hear what I had to say. You actually, I don't think you can do anything right. Y'all get that? Now, again, that's an example, but if we are honest, we have been in contact with at some time or another in our life with people who communicate that way. And so from the jump, you are on defensive and it's like, wait a minute. And that is nowhere close to, we go back to the scripture that I just referenced, that is nowhere close to allowing your words to be seasoned with grace and salt. Okay. So that's aggressive. And so you see, even in my facial expression, in my body language, I'm coming off in a way, again, that's likely going to start an argument versus me getting what it is that I need. Okay. So third one, we talked about passive aggressive request. All right. Again, I need the dress. I'm running late. Cleaners is going to close. I need my husband to pick this up for me. So passive aggressive. Look, after you leave the office talking to whoever it is you spend time talking to while you're at work all the time, would you mind picking up my dry cleaning for me? I mean, if you're not too busy with all that little talking you're always doing. So y'all see how that's a side? I've thrown in something here that clearly is bothering me about whomever or whatever he's talking about, and I'm sliding that in with my request. So there's this passive aggression going on. So again, that is likely not going to get me what I need. Imagine saying that to someone and side conscious irritation that I have that I'm sliding in, but I'm not really addressing it. Again, we're talking about building healthy relationships. And in order to do that, we have to have healthy communication. Communication is the key. So the final one, all right, this is where we want to land in being assertive. And again, remember I said sometimes we get assertive and aggressive confused. Assertive is simply asking for what it is you need. So in my example, I need my dress picked up. I'm running late. Can you get it for me? Is basically the request. So here we go. Hey, babe, would you please pick up my dress from the dry cleaner for me? I am running late. Can you do that for me on the way home? Because I think they're probably going to be closed before I can get there. See how, like, I stated what it was that I needed, gave a little bit more information to help him make a decision, because I'm saying I've got a meeting, I'm running late, I don't think I'm going to be able to get there. So now we can have a conversation about, is he running late? Is he not going to be able to get there before they close? He may not even know what time they close. So now there's a conversation that can be had. Well, babe, what time do they close? Oh, okay, they close at 6. Yeah, I can get there. Or, oh man, I'm stuck in traffic, I don't think I can get there. Hey, maybe we can call our son to pick it up. See how now I'm still going to be able to get my needs met, and now I've got my partner involved in this. I've got an ally now versus creating an adversary in one of the other 3 examples that I gave. So again, those examples of communication styles, we said passive, we said aggressive, and then we said passive aggressive. And remember the scripture that we talked about. I gave you Colossians 4 verse 6. Again, it says, let your words always be with grace, seasoned with salt, so that you will know how to show how you should answer each person. All right. And those communication styles, again, we said passive, passive aggressive, aggressive, and assertive. But we want to land in being assertive. So again, so those 3, and if you think about it, you've probably had times where you've had interactions with people in your life, whether in intimate relationships or at work, where you have one of these styles you have come in contact with. Just think about how it's hit your ear and what your response has been. Okay. So now I want to give you real quick. So the other piece of healthy communication, and communication being the key for us, is not only being able to ask for what we want and give out or ask for what we want and what we need, but the other piece is now, how are we listening? How are we encoding the information someone's giving to us? So there are 4 things I want to give you really quickly. The first one is clarifying. So when someone is sharing with you on the opposite end, they're asking for something, there's a request that they have of you, you want to make sure that you are clarifying what it is. And the whole goal of these 4 is just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Now, being on the same page doesn't mean that we agree, but it means that I've heard what you said, I understand, and we're at least starting from the same spot. So clarifying is, hey, can you explain that one more time so I'm clear I heard what you said? So that I'm not responding to something that you did not say. Because again, if I do that, your needs aren't met. Now we've got an argument, you're disappointed, and the whole thing falls apart. All right. The second one, restating. All that is rephrasing what the person said. All it is restating for them what they said in your own words, so they know that you heard them. All right. And goes a little something like this. Okay, so what I heard you say is you had a meeting, you're running late, you need me to pick up the dress today, or or were you saying tomorrow you were going to be late? See how that is? All of them is clarifying and restating. All right. The third one, acknowledging and validating. This is huge in relationships. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everyone wants to be validated in their feelings and want their feelings to be acknowledged. No one wants to feel like they're not heard and their feelings are not important, particularly when we're talking about close, intimate relationships. So acknowledging and validating, it lets the other person that you're talking to understand that they have been heard. Not only have the words been heard, but that you appreciate what it is that they are saying, their point of view, particularly about their feelings. Here is the key. You do not have to agree. with anything they said. You do not even have to agree with their feelings, but you can validate the fact that they have the feelings and they have communicated something to you. That is going to always land you in a place where you can have further conversation with someone. All right. And it goes a little something like this. So I understand that you're feeling frustrated because you're running late and you're not going to be able to pick up your dress. Is that what I'm hearing you say? See how easy that was? You're simply validating the feeling that you're hearing. And sometimes they may not use the word, but their body language, their expression, the words that they are using says that they're frustrated. Okay. So it helps to, and sometimes you can use that because people may not have the language for what they're feeling. So you may be actually helping them to communicate what the feeling actually is, or they may actually say to you, hey, I'm frustrated, or I'm angry, or I'm sad, or I'm upset. So, and then the last one is summarizing. This again is once we've had this conversation, once we've come to a point of conclusion, we've come up with a solution. All we're doing is reviewing what we had, the conversation that we've had. All we're doing is reviewing the progress that we had in the conversation. And so we're touching base on the high points. What are the things that we talked about? What did we agree? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, so and this is how it goes. Okay, so here's the plan. You've got to work late. You're feeling really frustrated because you can't pick up this dress. So we've agreed, I'm actually going to leave work early. I'll be able to get to the dry cleaners because you said they close at 6 or 6:30. Okay, they close at 6. I'll leave early so I can get there and beat traffic, and I'll pick that up for you. And then you're going to meet me. We're actually not going to go out for dinner. We're going to meet at home. See how we just did all of that, and now everybody's needs are met. Nobody is upset. We don't have to have an argument about the way I said something, if I didn't say it, you don't care about me because you're not picking up my dress. Your work and your conversations are more important. Again, any of us ever found ourselves in that spiral of an argument because we weren't assertive to ask for what we need, communicate that in a way that the other person can understand, or perhaps the other person wasn't able to clarify, restate, acknowledge, or summarize what we were going through. So I hope that was helpful for you. And again, like I said, when we do these live at fives, just want to do something short, sweet, really quick, but tangible that you can hold on to, hopefully, and use, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your work life, whether it's in your spiritual life. We're going to be hitting a lot of different topics while we're doing this. So make sure that you are following. If you haven't already, and if you would like to, you can subscribe to my newsletter on my website. I'm going to be sending out monthly updates and different information for you on there. So feel free to do that on my website at katherinebarner.org. Always, you can follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. I'm at Miss Cat Speaks on all of social media. But again, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, or if there's something that you would like for me to tackle that I haven't already, feel free to send me an email, send me a DM, let me know. The email, I'll put that up. It is info@katherinebarner.org. Send me an email there, or you can always send me a message or a DM, and I am happy to connect with you. And yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on some of the information that you would like to have. I'm going to check the comments on Facebook, see if there's anything there. Don't think I see any. And then I'm going to hop over. I see everyone on LinkedIn or on Instagram, rather. Thank you all so much for joining me today. So not next week, but actually week after next. So in 2 weeks, because we're doing this every 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, when we meet again, we're going to stay on this relationship piece, but we're going to be talking about disagreeing without being disagreeable. Don't we need to know how to do that? So again, disagreeing without being disagreeable, because we're going to have conflict. We're going to have disagreements, but how do we do it in a way that does not cause further conflict, further division, further hurt in our relationships that are really important to us? All right. So thank you all so much. Thank you. I see you, Vonda. Thank you for hopping on. I love you, dear. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Pastor D. I appreciate you guys hanging in here. Feel free to share this when it posts, whatever it does on Instagram. Feel free to share it. If you know folks, feel free to tag them. And again, let me know if you have questions or comments about anything, if anything comes up for you. We'll be happy to do that. I don't have any speaking coming up this weekend. I was in Beaumont last weekend, had a phenomenal time in Beaumont with my good friend, Pastor Deanna. So I'll always keep you guys posted on when I will be traveling and speaking. Would love to have you if you are anywhere in the area. All right. So take care. Have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.